I've used to frame this talk as what drama has to do with us. My background is that I started off as a kind of a student or hobbyist, dramatist or drama kepo. So we get involved in drama, and then subsequently it got more serious, and so I went for my PhD at the Central Academy of Drama in Beijing. And now I'm at NIE. And very often when I have to take a taxi to NIE, the taxi driver will ask me, "So do you teach here?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he said, "What do you teach?" And I said, "Well, I teach people to wayang." And he said, "Oh, really? Even you have such course in NIE?" I said, "Yes." But before I could go on to elaborate what I do and why I do it, how I do it, I have to get off. So this is my chance to really get that talk that has been, that has been suppressed in me for a long time. Yes, wayang in Singapore, I mean, we all do that. And in fact, I think that's a term that, in a way, is not totally derogative. I think we almost say it with some endearment, in that we're just saying just now, well, you're an officer because you haven't wayang enough, or maybe you wayang too seriously. That's why you're an army officer, have to serve reservist till 55. And you see that kind of metaphor of wayang, of drama, actually we are very familiar with it. I mean, every one of us knows of KPI, right, Key Performance Index. And our performance are being judged, graded, evaluated. And whenever we have a project, we will then come together, we will then sort of share roles, appoint roles, and then we'll put our act together. And then at the end of it, we'll evaluate our performance. So you get the point that I'm trying to get at. I mean, in a way, we are used to wayanging, and we take them very seriously. And we also want people to see our wayang, to evaluate our wayang, and see how we have done. And it's all come under performance. But, and in school, what does it has to do with school? I mean, other than the KPIs and the performance evaluation of teachers. I think as a subject, very few, perhaps in Singapore, very few schools offer it as a subject. But interestingly enough, the SYF competition that's opened up to school, meaning the Singapore Youth Festival competition that's offered to school, always have hundreds of groups participating, whether it's in Chinese or in English. So you see then that there is a certain value or certain perception of the value attached to drama, that it's something worth doing, although for various reasons, or those reasons may not be articulated. Yeah, so that's one part of it. So then my talk is, I'll try to, I mean, since coming back to Singapore and working at NIE, I've been trying to address one of the obsessions that I have, which is what's the use of drama? Coffin just now talked about therapeutic use and all that. I think those things are also associated with drama as well. There is drama therapy, theatre therapy, and also people talk about, like in Eugene's talk, we talk about boosting of confidence, the ability to express yourself. Then how does all those things come into education, come into learning, come into teaching? What's the relevance to our students? And also, what has it got to do with our education? How do we put that into practice beyond, or rather, if we do not want to embody it, or rather manifest it as drama as a subject, which very often in our system we know that it's damn hard to score. Yeah, especially Shakespeare. My apologies. I mean, my favorite line from Shakespeare when I was a student was really "Pox to you," and that's the only line that I remember. Anyway, I would just like to prove to you that I'm a serious wayang. I better do some name dropping. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to just quote Peter Brook, who has this very famous, who said this very famously in his book *The Empty Space*. That all you need for a performance is for someone to be in a space, in the empty space, and then for someone to look at it. Yeah, and that's a performance. Okay, and if I may allow, if you sort of indulge me further, I will then share with you something that a famous Polish director, probably the most important Polish director, Jan Witowski, the most famous director in the 20th century. His entire work, at least at the stage where he was doing theatre production, was to look at what is the most essential element of a performance for an actor. And in the performance, he realized that you can take away the lighting effect, you can take away the sound, but you cannot take away one thing. That is the actor. That is the actor. If no actor, no show. Okay, and the other thing you need in order for the performance to even I think Grotowski would even argue that you don't need an audience, because even without an audience witnessing, the actor can still be engaged in the performance, except that he engaged in the performance for a different reason, which was then the subsequent part of his research before he passed away. And if I may just quote another third name to show that I'm really a very serious one, that's the Russian director Stanislavski, which I think all of us know. And I think at the center of Stanislavski's work, at least in the realm of actors training, is this very strange thing of teaching an actor how to act naturally. So you see the antithesis there. He was coming up with a training, he was coming up with a series of exercises to teach people how to pretend, or how to wayang, or how to act, so that the act itself can become perceived as natural. Yeah, I mean, you can try it. You can drink water and you can perform drinking a cup of water in front of someone and say, okay, I'm going to drink this cup of water to show you that I'm happy. It's do it as an exercise. I mean, it's quite enjoyable. Okay, and what does it then have got to do with drama? And I think in the last 2 years that I've been with NIE, one of the things that I've been trying to do is to the question that I faced immediately when I joined NIE was, what has drama got to do with teachers? What has drama got to do with teaching? Why is NIE even having this drama course? The reason being that when I was in China, I'm used to teaching students who dream of becoming stars. They want to be the next Zhang Ziyi, the next Gong Li, and so these are people who will go out and then join the TV industry. So I was teaching them really how to act. Whereas here then, the question that I face immediately is, these people are not going to go into TV unless they are going to go online and do some tuition workshops online. Yeah, but I don't think so. So what then is the use of drama for them? And I think, or what is the use of drama for them for their students whom they are teaching, especially coming from NIE? And I think there are, if we look at the dynamics, or if we look at the elements of drama, there are a few things, and I think, and these few things are important to in our education system. If we believe that we are moving in the 21st century, we are moving away from teaching of information, from rote learning. And I'm saying that rote learning does have its value, because even as a performer, you need rote learning to learn your lines. If you don't remember your lines, then there's no show. But of course, the second part of the equation is you need to learn your lines, but yet you have to say your lines as if you are saying it naturally, as if you are saying it for the first time. That's the trick. Yeah. And even after the 100 performance, you still have to say it as if you have just said it at that moment. And these were questions that Stanislavski and the greats of drama have been thinking about in the past centuries. And let me come back then to the education system. What does it got to do with us? And I think the fact that many of the students do enjoy drama, and we do look at, and we do enjoy TV or things like that, shows that there is a certain interest, there is a certain mystery or certain attraction of drama that probably is associated with play, associated with imagination, that makes us want to come close to it. And if only learning is like playing, if only learning is like drama, if only we could set up learning like drama. And I was constantly, I sometimes joke to say that if only PE is not about running around the 400-meter field, but having to chase a gorilla and catch the gorilla running around the field, probably kids would find it more enjoyable. And there you have it, it's a role play. And there you have it, it's a setup of the scene of running after the gorilla. And if only we were not taught to do rock climbing but set up obstacles in such a way that we're going through a journey in search of some monsters. Probably that can work. And if we then look at, so I'm already slowly reviewing some of the tricks that we do in terms of setting things up, in terms of, and you can see a lot of that in what has now become almost like a workbook. But I'm sure Jonathan Nilans would be very upset that it's become a workbook, which is the structure of drama, where he basically breaks down all these elements, roles, backgrounds, sets, and these are elements where we can use to induce our students into the imaginative run of learning. And I think learning doesn't have to be laborious. And one of my favorite book, or favorite title of a book is Imagine to Learn. And I think it plays on the word imagine as well, in that you have to, you don't just imagine that you are learning. Yeah, you need to imagine in order to learn. And I think that is, for me, in the very core of drama, and that is still my obsession, which I'm trying to discover, sometimes with or in the midst of a lot of creative tension. I'm trying to discover how to put that into practice, and hopefully just to do a bit of advertising for the conference, which I will try to present at the conference as well. So I think with that I would like to just end here. Any questions? Why don't I just continue?
Thank you very much, Prof. Lee. I think there's a very lot of food for thought about the arts, the impact of the arts, as well as art on the community.